Oh, there's one of my lovely lilacs. Full bloom now. Here's another one. They're gorgeous when they're in full bloom. It's hard to see the screen with the sunlight on it, but I think I've got the lilac in there. Here we go. Gorgeous. Over here, the blackberry vine that volunteered is starting to climb up one of my roses. I use these berries every summer to make blackberry jam. More roses. Billions of rose bushes. They just have buds. They usually bloom by this time of year. And there's the irises tucked in between rose bushes. That cabinet there is going to be a little free library for people to get books and leave books. It needs a little more cleaning and a sign. And oh, my grapevine did survive. I wasn't sure that it would. I haven't gotten grapes off of it yet because of a fungus infection that came from this here rose bush. So I treated them last year at the end of the season and this year before the season started. Here's a rosebud getting ready to open. Love my grapevine. I thought I killed it. I treated the grapes and the grapevine and the rose bushes with neem oil. Uh-oh, this one has a whole bunch of aphids on it. Can't quite get the camera pointed at it. There it is, right here. Gonna have to do something about that. Maybe buy some ladybugs. This is the rosemary that's taking over the universe. It was in a little 6-inch pot and just maybe 4 or 5 inches tall when I bought it and planted it. Now it's humongous. More roses, lots and lots of rose bushes. Lots and lots. I'm not going all the way through because it's kind of narrow. I'm going to go around and this away. Here's some spearmint, daylilies out behind it, and peppermint. Peppermint is hard to keep healthy. I keep losing it. Oh, there's the peppermint. That's spearmint. That's peppermint. Peppermint needs a lot more water than the spearmint, and it's delicate. I tried growing catnip. The thing is, the cats keep eating it. This monstrosity is yarrow. I really want it gone because when it matures and starts to dry out, it's a fire hazard. But it is pretty. I forget what this plant is called. Someone else put it here. Water for cats and critters, irises, and this here, this is a society garlic. You can eat it, but it's mainly ornamental. And more irises next to my flag. I need to get the thingy, forget what it's called, in a different spot. I have the little thing that holds the flag on the wall of the house, but I end up walking, you know, kind of face planting my face in the flag when I walked by. Over here, blackberries just beginning to come back. Dead blackberries, because that's where the walnut tree was. Never ever plant a walnut tree unless all you want is walnuts. Those trees actually put out a toxin that kills everything around them. Here outside the fence, my neighbor gets blackberry vines too. They're taking over the universe. These irises didn't do much blooming, probably because they didn't get watered enough. But I think if I water them now, they will bloom. More blackberry vines and more blackberry vines. Let's, I don't think I'm up to walking out back this morning. Getting tired. Love those irises, purple bearded irises. This is just some weeds that took over a pot. Near as I can tell, they are not edible, so I'll have to get rid of them. Lovely irises. My porch swing, because no canopy because the wind destroyed it. That tree there, which needs to be planted, is a flowering pear. It makes fruits about the size of a green pea, so you're not going to eat anything, but I want a pretty tree here. I think between the irises and the rose bushes, or maybe in this patch of weeds. I have to be careful because there's a dead cat buried somewhere. The irises here are the memorial to my bandit, my Rottweiler. He was his mother was purebred German Rottweiler, but his father was a traveling salesman. Oh, you just saw Sweetie, my little feral, walking around. She's a black tuxedo, little white bib, little white feet. Anyway, I wasn't about to bury a 110-pound Rottweiler, so I buried his collar and tags and had the vet take him away. So here's the rose bushes from the other side. Whoa. I'm a little unsteady here. There's the butterfly tree. It needs more water, but it's doing okay. That's one of my tomatoes. I got the little ones and put them into bigger pots. This pot here is more spearmint right in front of the butterfly tree, and there's more of the rosemary that's taking over the universe. Tomato plant number 2. Now these two that I just showed you were very sickly, and this one still has brown around the edges of some of its leaves. It's best to take off the worst of them. I don't think it's a plant disease. I think it's just the poor thing didn't get enough water and got sunburn. But it's best, just in case, to take off the worst of the leaves so the plant doesn't invest as much in trying to heal the hurting leaves, and it can focus more on new growth. 1, 2, 3. There. Sometimes I have to get the scissors to snip them. Now this here is a very special Japanese iris that just doesn't like it in the mountains. And it's surrounded by miner's lettuce that is mature and going to seed. Miner's lettuce is edible, but I've never tried eating it. I really should. They say it's good in salads. Tomato number 3, I gave him too much water. He's got a curled up yellow leaf. I know that's from overwatering, and I'll have to get the scissors to take care of this poor little tomato. But he does have flowers which will become tomatoes, and I think I better get him some lime. If they don't get enough calcium, they'll have blossom end rot. It's just a calcium deficiency, but your tomatoes are ruined. They rot at one end. Now this guy, tomato number 4, is doing very well. Yeah, they aren't going to get any water today. He's just not happy. Oh, and in each tomato pot, I put a garlic. It deters pests. Ooh, pretty flowers. Going to be tomatoes. Don't ask. Oh, some of these are best boy tomatoes and some are brandywine tomatoes. But this here garlic, I had a clove of garlic in my kitchen that got too dried out to really use in cooking. So I put 1 little clove in each of these 4 little peat pots and watered them well, and they grew. So now they're protecting my tomatoes from pests, and they'll develop whole bulbs of garlic that I can actually eat. And since they're bulbs, you know, it isn't like when you try to save seeds from a store-bought vegetable. The seeds might not be true to type. You might end up with something weird. But these are bulbs. They'll give me the same garlic that I bought at the store. And of course, the iris is a great place to finish. It's time to stop and share this here. One more shot of my grape from a distance. See, it isn't super growing, but it does have leaves and shoots. It will be good, and I hope I get grapes this year. I really want those Concord grapes, and you just can't find them in the store, and even when you do, they are not the same. I don't know whose car that is. I let my neighbors park here when they have overflow. I mean, I'm not parking there. I don't have a car. So anyway, let's get back to the pretty irises and call it a day. Enjoy.